house? Here, have an Xbox One.
And
Looks like a
knowing
friggin' VCR player.
and knowing our luck, the power brick will probably be half the size of it as well, and generate enough heat to heat a small home.
Sorry, are you using too much electricity in your home? We're gonna increase your electricity bills because we can do that.
Okay,
Yours-
so let's leave this all for the actual call.
The Sonic Show's Opinion Zone, Act 2.
Hi everybody, welcome to another opinion show. As you can tell, I'm obviously not Jay, as at this moment he is in Japan, so he kind of put me in Commander-in-Chief. So we organized an emergency, even though it kind of was late, Opinion Zone show. We'll be covering a lot today. In fact, this might go on to like 2 whole episodes. In fact, it already is, because I already planned it out. Why doesn't everybody introduce who they are right now, in order?
Okay, do you want to go first, Anna?
Oh, well, everyone knows me.
Okay, I suppose that's my turn. Yeah, I'm Jono. I am a co-pres on VGM, Awesome Video Game, Music, Podcast, and Radio.
It's me again, Tom. I'm Tanner's greatest rival from the UK, and I do LPs, and I do other bits and pieces.
I'm Max Firestorm. I'm a Minecraft Let's Player on the YouTubes, and I occasionally do music and writing stuffs.
Hey, I'm Brad, also known as Super Cold Chaos. I do videos for Hellfire commentaries, and I'm also Tanner's other rival if you watch his Trial of the Tanner stuff.
Alrighty then, so today's first order of business, the business, and the biggest news for today is, of course, the Xbox One. It was revealed, and let's just say, unlike the Wii U and PS4, the opinions were not mixed. In fact, they were pretty unanimous that this is the biggest train wreck in the last 20 years of gaming. Would we like opinions?
Yes, we would like opinions. How about I start off with this one? Let's put it this way. It's now the Xbox VHS.
Yeah, it's
With no
freaking
backward compatibility.
gigantic. I know, it's the stupidest looking thing ever. But I'm not one that cares about how a console looks, but that thing is big. I mean, it just looked overly bulky. And I guess I'll go over some of the stuff that was revealed for it before we get into opinions, because no, John, you don't know much about it. But
Yeah, I unfortunately missed the conference.
well,
You
I
didn't miss much. You
I
really
watched
didn't
it
miss
in class because I'm a horrible student.
Shame
so-
on you.
The average.
First off is its look. It's big, it's bulky, it just looks like a VHS player. The controller looks like a mixture between the Xboxes and Xbox 360s. Not much to say on it. It doesn't change anything much like the Wii U's and PS4s did. It just looks like a controller.
It looks a bit like a Batarang.
I hear a lot of people complaining about the D-pad. They're saying it's not very good.
Yeah, the
People
Xbox
use the
has always
D-pad?
had horrible D-pads. It's like they've never
Okay,
had
then,
good
so I'm not
ones.
the only one who agrees.
I was going to say, who uses the D-pad still?
I use it for
I-
my PS3.
I think it's for, like, RTS games or things like that.
I use
It's
it for
brilliant.
fighting
Who
games
plays
personally.
those?
I use it all the time when playing Sonic Generations. It's brilliant for like 2D
Yeah.
side-scrolling games.
Oh, yeah.
I can't use a control stick for 2D at all. I think it
No,
just
me
doesn't
neither.
work.
Yeah.
And another thing, not that anybody cares, but what the heck did they do to the Kinect sensor?
Oh, they basically clusterfucked it.
Not
got a-
only that, speaking of the Kinect is mandatory to be used with it. It is no longer just a little accessory you don't have to use. It's now completely Kinect driven, as in the menus are all motions and voice control.
What about if you're deaf and blind?
Well,
That's
Yes,
really...
road.
number one, I'm pretty sure if you're blind, then video games isn't the best career for you
Pastime.
to... Yeah, pastime is not a good thing. But another thing, the whole conference was about this one idea that apparently the people at Microsoft thought it would blow the minds of everybody, and that is, you can use your TV now to watch TV.
Well, it did blow
Yeah, you
everyone's
posted
minds.
that on Facebook like twice.
Like I said, they did blow everyone's minds. saying that?
You,
Reason being?
One of the things I think Adam Sessler tweeted that nobody in the audience really clapped, and that it was all pre-canned on speakers clapping.
You just like one guy who doesn't get the joke. He's clapping. Like,
They held up the
are they being
applause
serious?
signs. They held up those signs that say applause, and apparently almost no journalists applauded because of the fact that they're like, okay, so we can now watch TV and go on Skype on our TV. Cool.
Like we used to. Like,
The thing is there is that for PlayStation 3, it's got stuff like iPlayer and, ITV Player, and it's had that for at least a couple of years. So this is nothing new.
another interesting thing is that now they're bragging, saying, "Oh, we've got Blu-ray players," but it's like PS3 had that right off the get-go.
That is true. One thing that they did kind of just brush over, it's that it does have a Blu-ray player, and it does have the same sort of recording system that the PS4 has, which are nice features, yes, but again, they're not new. The PS4 had them. And because the PS4 revealed it first, it kind of didn't go anywhere that people were excited, you know.
Great start, Microsoft. Good.
And even then, when it was announced on PlayStation 4, it wasn't earth-moving.
It definitely wasn't earth-moving, no. Next
I don't remember it being like the big thing that the PlayStation 4 was going to reveal. It's like, now you can do this.
No, yeah, it was just a small feature. It was like, they said, oh yeah, you can do this. As compared to the Xbox, and literally I'd say 85% of the conference was the fact that you can watch TV on it.
TV and movies? TV. Xbox. Watch TV. 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 Watch TV. TV. TV and TV remote. TV experience. TV. 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 Sports TV. 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 Anybody?
That was the big thing. They just barely covered games. Now, they announced, I think, 7 games. Are you guys ready?
It's 8
Okay,
games.
so
games?
this is
There we
actual... Did they actually show this software off before we ask, or are we just saying that these are games that are coming?
Let me get to the games first before we get into that. The games that they showed off were 4
Drum roll.
EA Sports games, which were
Wow.
not NFL. Yeah, NFL, not NHL. NHL wasn't there.
Not ANHS or anything like that as well.
No, it was NFL,
NBA?
FIFA, NBA, and UFC. Games you've never played before, we swear.
Oh, yes. Breaking grounds from EA Sports.
It's in the game.
And
I was kind of expecting golf, to be honest. But
That'd be silly. Motion sensor and golf? What
Yeah,
kind of
no
crazy
one would do
stuff are
that.
you thinking of, man?
I don't know.
they started going off saying like, oh, Microsoft has prepared an exclusive partnership with EA, and then it turns out that NHL 14 is a PS4 game.
Wow.
So it's not really an exclusive deal. They're just sounding pretentious.
Wasn't that the first game they actually announced as their lineup? It's like the first game is also on the PS4.
Possibly, yeah. I'm not sure.
Sorry.
After that
And the
was
thing-
Forza Motorsport 5. I'm not a Forza guy. Is anyone here
Wait,
care?
that's one of the other Xbox games?
Yes,
Yeah,
Forza
it's basically-
Motorsport 5.
So we basically have 5 sports games.
And then after that was a new game by the creators of Max Payne and Alan Wake called Quantum Break, and possibly the most confusing video game teaser ever. It starts off live action with a mother or something, a maternal figure, and a little girl, and the mother's like, "What special power do you have?" Puts her hand behind her ear, and then that was live action, by the way. And then it cuts to a shot of like Manhattan, and all of a sudden a giant ship teleports and breaks a bridge. That's it. Trailer over.
Sounds like a trailer for a new X-Men movie.
Oh, I'm
Yeah, it
mistaken.
does,
It's
yeah.
Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Ghosts.
then finally they concluded their big game presentation with Call of Duty Ghosts, a game that we've known about, isn't an exclusive. They showed off a lot of gameplay from it, and they said it was revolutionary and groundbreaking. Except it looked
Also,
the exact
apparently-
same. It has a new engine, but it looks the exact
Probably going to be on
same.
PlayStation 4 as well.
Yeah,
And apparently you have bears in it. You can play as a bear.
you can't play
You
as a
play
bear.
as a bear.
You can't play as a bear. That was just a joke thing. But there are underwater levels with fish with their own AI.
What?
Wow.
Okay.
Fish AI.
What else was there? There's now this is what you were confused about is there are playable dogs now. Now,
Oh, that one.
now
I knew it was an
there are
animal.
playable dogs, but still not playable women soldiers.
Wow.
Don't be silly. Women with guns. What kind of twisted ideology do you have?
As someone with an
What is this? The
My aunt
future?
is in the army, and I gotta say she's more hardened than my uncle, who is in the army. So,
Oh,
just
wow.
saying that. What else? Oh, I laughed so hard. They were doing like side-by-side graphics comparisons between in-game for Modern Warfare 3 and then Call of Duty Ghosts pre-render footage, and I'm like, that's
Pre-rendered?
kind of,
Seriously?
Yeah. Oh yeah, all the trailers they showed off were pre-rendered, by the way. They didn't show off a single bit of actual gameplay at the entire conference.
Is anyone surprised by that, though, really?
Not really.
There we
Well,
go.
Well, they did show off, gameplay stuff, or at least stuff rendered on the fly on the PlayStation 4 conference.
Yeah, they did show bits of actual gameplay. Like, it wasn't the trailers, but they did show bits of the gameplay, as opposed to the Xboxes where there literally was no gameplay. And one of the things that they compared, which was apparently, I found it the funniest thing, they were comparing the texture of the player character's arms. Showing how,
Wow.
with new Xbox One technology, players have individual arm hairs that flow and move with the wind.
$300 sold.
Don't be silly. That's cheap. You're expected to pay with the new Kinect and these games all in a bundle of $6,999.
So,
Wait. $699 US.
no, it's not. There has no prices been confirmed.
Bit in
Gonna
the end.
finish up with Call of Duty here. The last new thing they showed off was that there are now, which I think this is a pretty cool thing. In game, there are like things that can happen to the stage itself. For instance, there can be an earthquake, which will change the multiplayer map's level, like totally.
Really, an earthquake's going to change the playing field?
Well, like buildings
nev-
will fall, and if you're in a building, you'll get collapsed on, or there could be a fire, stuff like that. I think that's kind of cool, and does.
That is pretty revolutionary.
I wouldn't say revolutionary at all. I mean, it's
Well, it does add to the immersion, which is really nice.
like Call of Duty multiplayer to me is the most purgatorial gaming experience ever. Think about it.
Call of Duty is a purgatorial thing in the first place.
It's like you're trapped in a small enclosed arena, and all you can do is kill people over and over for the rest of your like. It just to me feels like if
That's every shooter in a nutshell.
Well, no, but it's like at least with stuff like Halo, you have vehicles to drive around in, you have like weapons to find and pick up. In this one, it's like you're preset. There's nothing on the field that's interactive. You just exist.
You could say the same thing about Team Fortress 2, but Team Fortress 2 is more entertaining
That's true.
because it's a more colorful and vibrant experience as opposed to Call of Duty. It's like if the two games are virtually the same, but one is more entertaining than the other.
It's about the whole thing of stylization versus realism.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Whereas,
I'd much rather have
Whereas,
a game have like bad graphics but a big personality than a game have super realistic arm hair motions than like, that's just me though. I'm a classic sort of gamer.
It's realism
guy,
versus escapeism. That's what it is.
Exactly.
I think it's just getting to one of those stages now that you can say that you got this much arm hair which can flow freely in the breeze. But the thing is, are we at a stage where we care about that kind of stuff anymore?
No, and that's
No.
like when it did the side-by-side comparison for the graphics, other than like it being pre-rendered and stuff, I don't think we're at the point where it really matters the graphics. I think we're done with the whole, hey guys, we can do 3D games. Hey guys, look how realistic this is. I think now it should just be a whole thing of just focusing on gameplay. But let's stop talking about Call of Duty. We have a lot to say about that in general. But let's go back to the Xbox One. Some other features which they didn't say in the conference, but were revealed afterwards. So
Convenient much.
yeah, exactly. The first one was a big one. In the conference, one of the guys, when he's in TV mode, one of the things he said was like, at the flick of your voice, you can switch channels. And he goes like,
How do you flick a voice?
I don't know.
You go, oh!
He's like, Xbox, go to CBS. and instantly it'll switch to CBS. It was revealed afterwards that that wasn't actually a feature, and that is just a preview of a potential concept. Because he wasn't
They
actually
lied to
using an
us.
Xbox there, because obviously, with so much background noise, it's not going to work. With the Kinect, how the stage was lit, the Kinect wouldn't work. He was just pretending. We all know that.
Nice.
What else was there? Oh,
Isn't that the Peter Molyneux strategy of revealing your stuff? Just show a bunch of stuff that could happen but doesn't actually work?
yeah, basically.
So
After
it's like
that,
my
Even though
stuff
I'm
off
talking
eBay
about
sometimes.
PlayStation.
remember our previous conversation on used games? Okay, first off, if you want to buy a used game, when you put it in your console, it'll know that it's not your game. So, you'll have to pay a registration fee to lock that game to your console. After that, every game has to be pre-installed. So that means you get the disc, you put it in, it installs on your system. And yeah, no backwards compatibility. That's a big thing that they confirmed. But yeah, no more bringing games over to friends' houses, unless you want to pay an activation fee and get it deactivated from yours. You know, it's like,
Or you could just bring the whole console, but why would you do that?
yeah.
Just out of interest, have we actually been told anything about the actual guts, the actual innards? Well, we know that there's a Blu-ray player in it, but do we
Yes.
actually know any of the actual tech specs of it?
There are the specs, however, I didn't grab them. I was going to do it beforehand. I have no
Hang
idea
on.
what any of them mean. I know it has 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Hang on, let me
I
find
have
Donnie's post because he
something.
actually
Yeah,
posted it.
I got it.
Donnie.
You got
There
it?
you go.
Okay, here we go.
Got it.
It has an 8-core CPU with 8 gigabytes of RAM, a 500 gigabyte hard disk drive, HDD, HDMI in and out, USB 3.0, and 802.11n wireless with Wi-Fi. Okay, so it has Wi-Fi. I have no idea what the rest of that means, but... So, can we just discuss the name for a brief second? The Xbox One? It's like...
The Xbox Y.
Why the One? There are so many possibilities. The Xbox
720.
Infinite, the Xbox Infinity, the Xbox 720, the Xbox Delta, the Xbox... anything.
Xbox 3?
But yeah,
Well,
Xbox
technically-
3. Why
I was going to say even Durango was
Yeah,
sort of.
because it's like a name. And I mean,
Well, that
like,
was a Durango.
that
It
was
sounds
the
like a
code,
dodgy fruit.
that was the code
That was the
name
code
for
name
it.
of it.
But it's like
Still sounds like some dodgy fruit.
all the other ones had something that you can, like, for instance, the Wii and Wii U, short and easy to write out. PS2, PS3, PS4, easy to write out. Vita, 3DS, all super simple. Are we just gonna call it the One? Are we gonna call it XB1? Like,
Xbox, you are the one.
it's like it's just the dumbest name. And everyone was on Nintendo's case saying like, oh, you can't name the Wii U, it has Wii in the title, that'll confuse consumers, and it sort of did actually, but it's like, the Xbox One is confusing because of the fact that we already have an Xbox One called
No,
the
technically,
Xbox.
Yeah, it's just like, can I have an Xbox One? It's like, sorry, we don't sell those anymore. What do you mean? This is brand new. No, this came out, what, nearly 20 years ago? No, not 20 years. Cool, I'll be old. About 10 years ago, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, 10 years sounds good.
Yeah, that's about right. Also,
I'm pretty sure that we were actually all having a conversation similar to this back when
PS.
the Nintendo Revolution was announced to be called the Nintendo Wii.
Oh, yeah, we did, actually.
I actually liked the Wii's name. I thought it was hilarious.
It was okay. I
It's
didn't
very-
really care for it. It's just a console.
It's very awkward
like,
in conversations, though,
I like
sometimes.
the whole idea of it's like, no matter what language you're speaking, everyone can say Wii. It's just a simple, easy-sounding name. Also, my computer.
In French, wouldn't that be the Nintendo Yes?
Yes, it would be, actually.
Only if you
the Nintendo
actually,
Yes.
only if you said it as Wii. But yeah, OUI.
It's like-
is
I know,
Wii.
but either
Like-
when you're pronouncing it, you're saying the Nintendo Yes.
So, what about if they're trying to buy a console? Bonjour, monsieur. Can I buy a Nintendo,
It's,
Nintendo Wii? Wii?
Je voudrais acheter un Nintendo
Wii Wii.
That's
This
right,
is
I
going to be
speak
very
French.
offensive
Boom.
to any.
No, I actually
This
speak
is going to be
French.
very offensive to anybody who speaks French.
Oh, that's only half the Canadians. And France.
And
Welcome to
friends.
French class, aka the opinion stream.
Oh, I
Seriously.
forgot one very hilarious piece of information.
Oh, God.
Right after the conference, Nintendo's and Sony's stock both rose 9%.
Oh, I saw that. That was it. And
Yeah.
Xbox went drop.
Yeah,
I saw that too. That was pretty
Microsoft
nice.
stocks went down. Sony's and Nintendo's went up. So people are saying there's people online defending it, and they're like, "Oh, it's just people on the internet being moody." It's like, well, I think there's physical evidence that the majority of people don't like the Xbox One. Okay, Tom, your thoughts?
It's basically a bonfire. It's trying to reenact the good old days that failed terribly. You could basically make a house out of it. And also, anyone that thinks that using the Kinect for everything is a good choice probably should have used the Kinect itself. I've seen the Mario Party 7 microphone to be more responsive than a Kinect.
All right. Max, you've been pretty quiet during this, but your thoughts?
It looks like a VCR player. My VCR player's in the cupboard. If I ever got a Xbox One, which won't happen, it'll probably go the same place, to be honest. That's about it.
Short and
Or
sweet.
eBay.
Brad?
Okay, has anybody here seen the South Park episode Canada on Strike? Where one of the leaders from Canada just goes, "We want more money." That's the Xbox in a nutshell. It's nothing more than Microsoft wanting more money. It's technology that isn't revolutionary. It's got no star power in terms of games. Like, there's no characters or games from the Xbox 360 that makes me want to buy this. Like, with Sony, you've got games like Infamous. You've
Yep.
got games like Sly Cooper or Uncharted. Nintendo, of course, revolutionized the star characters with Mario and etc. Microsoft doesn't have that. So I see no reason to just not want to get a PlayStation 4 and get the Xbox One.
So yeah, that about wraps our thoughts up on the Xbox One. Please note any positive comments about the Xbox One will be deleted. I'm just joking. We're not like that, except that we are probably secretly wanting to, because really all these people defending it are quite delusional, I think, because, I mean, like, for instance, the Wii U, people say is a gimmick, like the pad is a gimmick. That actually has a lot of gameplay possibilities, as opposed to the Kinect, or like, for instance,
Well,
the
there's
Wonder Book.
possibilities,
Remember Wonder
but how
Book?
many games actually take advantage of it?
Kinect?
None.
Other than for
No, I
voice
mean
chat, very
the
little.
pad for the Wii U.
Nintendo Land.
Actually, yeah, it's
Nintendo
like
Land, and I know Zombie U does that, but
the Wonderful 101 does.
okay, that's gonna be good.
Batman Arkham City Armored Edition.
That one does.
Really?
Lego City
Yeah,
Undercover, I'm pretty sure does. I haven't played
Smash
it myself.
Brothers 4.
But yeah, Smash Bros.
Okay,
4 will
then,
definitely
so-
use it. So, yeah, see, like, I think Kinect is more of a gimmick in that regard. But I think that about wraps it up for this Opinion Zone episode. But as you guys know, we always finish off an Opinion Zone, with the exception of last time because we forgot, with some Q&A questions. Since I do not have the corporate email account's password, I had to ask on Facebook. The first question is from Blaze Kaja, I think it's how you pronounce it, asking, can people like me join, referring to the Sonic Show? I'm speaking out of Jay's mouth here when I say, you don't come to us, we come to you. Because that's basically what happened with all of us, right?
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. But at the same time, I suppose, well, I don't want to speak on James' behalf here, but if you do have something which you think could be of interest to us, or you think that could work well on the show, by all means, get in contact with us about it, and we'll
show
definitely have a
show
look.
us your stuff, and if we like it, then we'll get in touch with you. But don't just ask if you can join, because chances are that doesn't work. For instance,
Yeah. We've
I got
free.
huh?
Sorry, I was going to say, pretty much, if you're going to be asking for like LP wise, then unfortunately, there's about 3 or 4 of us on the LP staff side of
Yeah,
things as it is.
we're
So
way good on the Let's Play
We're-
side. But if you do like music, movies, even just random stuff like dramatic readings or like I don't know, feel free to share us your stuff, and if we like you, we'll get in touch with you. Probably.
But no one's-
Just that's Jay.
no one's
not
a
me.
Just something that you think will work or would work well on the show.
Yeah, because I mean, you know what we post. You've seen our stuff, so
no porn, please, no porn.
yeah, no, try to stay away from that. YouTube doesn't like that.
But yeah, Tanner, no one's more dramatic than you.
I know.
Ghouls, Tanner,
Yes.
ghouls.
Wait, what?
Final Fantasy.
Oh, frick. Yeah, no, don't reference my stuff here. No one watches my stuff.
Okay. Sonic 2.
Next question by Nick DePerna. If you guys are Sonic figure collectors, which line of figures is your favorite?
Ooh, that's going to be John's down. John,
This is something which I know all about, and I'm kind of obliged to say because I work for them. I'm a big First Four Figures fan, and they're basically the guys who are in charge of making, the collectible statues, which sell for quite large sums of money, but they are really good. They are really good figures. They're
the best
all
quality.
hand-produced. They're all
for sure.
They're all they're all handmade. They're all hand painted. They're limited. They're highly collectible. They're going to be highly collectible in the future, and that's kind of why I like them.
First figures are, if you have the money, and you want top quality, exclusive statues, then really they are your best bet. But if you wanted something more accessible for casual people, then, well, it's hard to say really. Because it's mostly Javware. Am I pronouncing it right? Javware?
Is it
Jazzwares?
Yeah, Jazzwares.
Yeah, they're fairly good. I mean, one series that I've nearly completed is the Free Riders set. But the problem is, Knuckles doesn't seem to exist anywhere on the planet.
But one thing I often find with Jazzwares figures is that they look absolutely fine in the box. They are great in the box. Keep them in there. You're going to find yourself, you're going to find them starting to, show the rough sides around the edges once you actually remove from the box and actually start using them as figures. They're not good action figures, but they are good sort of display pieces in their boxes.
They do have wonderful looking boxes, I will say.
The box art is very nice, but since I've never actually taken any of them out, and the only thing Jazzware that I've got out in the open was the anniversary edition, which melts in a room when more than 20 degrees. Yeah.
Well, they'd be safe here.
Yeah, you're in minus.
Hey, man, right now it's 30 degrees.
Minus.
No, actually positive. We have warm summers here, actually. Max, do you have figure stuff?
I'm not much of a figure collector. I'm more like the plush toys, but I've got the Sonic Nendoroid figure.
Oh yeah,
and I've got like a Free Riders Sonic figure that I picked up from Summer of Sonic last year, and I think that's a Jazzwares one.
That's Jazzwares for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and I got like the mini, the tiny little ones, the Metal Sonic and Super Sonic ones.
That's first figures as well.
Right, I got those from Game, so.
Yeah, you can, believe it or not, those First Four Figures, sort of little mini figures, they're about 2 inches tall. They're not articulated, but they make great display pieces. They're now actually being sold under Jazzwares license in new packaging. So they are
really
more generally. Yeah, they are.
That's like
copyright.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think they sold it. They sold the rights to them or something like that to produce figures.
Okay. Yeah, it's legal stuff. It's way above us. All right. I don't collect the figures, so I don't know anything to say. Next question is from Sean Joseph Pike, who asks, what do you really think of Yo, Tanner, how does it feel to be in charge of something? Pretty damn awesome.
Wait, what?
I'm just reading these as I go. Next one by Alexander Davidge. Okay, do be serious here. Do you guys think these new Sonic games will be any good in the eyes of the general public, considering the epic fails of Unleashed on the Wii, The Secret Rings, and any others I have missed?
Well, that is kind of biased because that's only really classing the
that's like the two bad ones. It's like all the other ones, like Black Knight is okay, and then like all the other Nintendo exclusives are like pretty damn good. I mean, you got the advanced ones are great, the Rush ones are great, Colors is unbelievable, and it's like I think the two we picked out are the two not very good ones. But even then, Sonic Unleashed on the Wii is not that bad.
I mean, you've got to admit that fight cutscene was just the greatest.
Oh god, that one fight cut. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna deny that the game has the weirdest production values because like the levels look good and then everything else is crap.
Yeah. But another thing, if you gotta understand that because of the limitations of the Wii compared to the consoles, Unleashed was going to be very different. Because they even released it on the PS2. So you got to understand it had to try and be capable to play on the PS2 as well as the Wii.
That's true. And
'Cause
the
it
PS2
seems-
is pretty. I'm surprised at how physically weak it is. I never had a PS2 until recently, and I'm playing it, and I always used to think, oh my gosh, it's like echelons above the GameCube. But the more I play my PS2, the more I think the
Wow.
GameCube is better.
It is. But also, you got to understand also, the Secret Rings was the first Sonic game on the Wii.
And
And it was-
apparently,
And we're talking back in 2007 here.
yeah,
This is when the Wii was just released. So
Apparently-
basically, it was implementing the new technology to see how it would work. And obviously, that sucked majorly. So they took a long time to worry about Black Knight to make sure they don't flop as much as Secret Rings.
now this might be false information, but I did read this recently online that Secret Rings was actually rushed out pretty quickly because they were trying to port over 06 to the Wii and couldn't get it to work. So instead, they had to make their own game for it.
Well, if that's the case, they kind of hit the nail on the head. If we're talking about how successful it was and that not being so good.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't see. This is the thing that baffles me. How did 06 get a platinum?
It's based on game sales, not ratings.
I know,
The
but
game sold
game sale-
pretty good, actually. You'd be surprised.
And then loads of people complained.
Yeah. So, but next question. Let's get through these quickly. Next one. Why does Sonic? Thank you, Skylar.
What?
That's Skylar. You can ignore him. Last question for today, by Louis LeBlanc. I'm being teased and bullied for being a Sonic fan at my school. Is there any tips I could use to make the people shut up? Take their spines. I mean, what?
I had the exact same thing when I was going through school.
I suppose the only thing you could almost say to them, or at least the thing I'd say, is that at least you're brave enough to admit it, man.
That's true, actually. Yeah, that's a big thing. But it's sort of the whole thing of like, I mean, I was even bullied a bit in school for liking Sonic, and I still am a bit because Sonic does have a bit of a negative reputation to him, and let's be honest here, with some of the fan fictions and stuff, it's easy to see where it comes from. But at the same time, just the fact that you can be true to yourself and just say like, yeah, I do like it, so what? So just that fact alone, dude, who cares? The bullies will, even if they liked Sonic, the fact that they're bullies would make them bully you over something else. That's just who they are. They're horrible people. So just
And on top of that, if they're doing that, they must be so bored.
yeah, they can't play Sonic games. It's like, so does that say anything really? It's just like, okay.
Anything.
They're
If any-
grasping at straws.
If anything, being a Sonic fan, it depends on how you look at it. Being a Sonic fan via the games just shows that you're just used to be casual. There's nothing. You don't have to be hardcore about it. If you mention him every moment of your every waking day, then it's understandable you could take it tad too far.
That's true. Yeah, there's
There's
if
the
you're
line
one of those
between-
extreme guys, or like don't wear blue to school. Don't run with your arms behind your back like it's an airplane. Don't try to spin dash. Those are some general
Hey.
rules.
Tanner, I run with my hands behind my back, thank you, and I'm very fast.
Don't-
I got a nickname.
Don't do that, please.
Hey, I've been doing that for years. I don't. Do you know? To be perfectly honest, I'll bring this up here.
Don't admit this.
No, no, shut up. No. When I was in secondary school, of all places, I had Sonic Battle because I went to Canada. I never met you. I should have met you, Tanner, but that's another story for another time. When I was in Canada, I bought a copy of Sonic Battle. And obviously, my favourite character is Knuckles, and in the game, he runs with his hands behind his back. And it just came randomly at one point. Well, I decided just to let go. Instead of running like trying to do all this athletic stuff, because I used to be in a sports school, so obviously they're all pro. You must do this method, and I broke it, and everyone was like, "You weirdo." But at the same time, I was a bit too forward about how I approached Sonic stuff. Anything mentioned about Sonic, I'd be on it, and I'd willingly openly say like, "Yeah, I'm a big Sonic fan. I like this, that, and the other," and it got a bit tad too far. So I deserved what I got in a sense. But even to this day, people still people that bullied me still know me. I still get on with them. It's just one of them phases, really. Be true to yourself. Enjoy what you like. Don't feel intimidated by anyone because you like something that other people don't. But just don't give them that opportunity. That's really the best advice I can offer anyone, really.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly, basically... If this is random people, then they're just horrible people doing this. I mean, it's like... But it depends on the situations, of course. But I think... Oh, go on.
Yeah, one thing that needs to be brought up is we don't know really about what the circumstances are of these bullies, but it shouldn't be a case that, you should sort of go out trying to say, this is Sonic, you have to like Sonic, because that's never going to go down with anybody.
Yeah, no,
down well with anybody.
Don't be a bad fan. That's a big thing. Well, I guess on that note, we're going to call this Opinion Zone to a close. So, we'll see you guys next time, maybe probably after E3. Thanks, Max, for being one of our guests. Thank you, Brad, despite leaving.
Thank you, Skylar, for attending.
Yeah, we invited Skylar, and he's all like, yeah, I might come if I want to, and he didn't. Frickin' Skylar. Sonic Retro.
Tanner, what have I told you?
I'm sorry.
Now go back to your bedroom.
Okay, sir.
Before I get it out.
Well, on that note, see you guys later. Ciao.
Hang on, Tanner. You're forgetting something.
We're gone. We're ending this.
You're forgetting something, Tanner. One thing.
No.
You forgot the music.
What music? Oh, right. Max, say a Sonic song right now.
Rooftop Run.
There we go.
Okay. Till next time, guys. This is Tom.
And John.
And Max.
And Tanner. And we'll see you guys next time. Ciao. I stole you.
Sonic Show's Opinion Zone. Copyright Disco Ponies Productions. Sonic the Hedgehog is copyright of Sega Corporation. Published material and comments are those of the respective persons and not of the Sonic Show. All rights reserved. Thanks for listening.